wants the ugly duckling. See, he's sad because he's all alone and nobody wants him.
When I was young, I remember always feeling like the ugly duckling. As an introvert, I relate better with books than with people. I listened to this story first when I was 5 years old, and at that young age, it didn't leave much of an impression on me. It was just a story among other stories. As an adult, I find myself listening more to children's stories as they better define life for me now than they did back when I was young. Ooh, chasing the aurora, Joy, hi!
Hi.
Where are we going?
We're going to see the Northern Lights.
Ooh, I'm
Yes,
excited.
Yes,
So excited, right?
Yeah.
The Ugly Duckling is a story about a swan whose egg was washed by a duck. It's funny to me how the Ugly Duckling brothers and sisters did not start being mean to it until they had the neighbors being mean to the Ugly Duckling. Hello. Like during the first swim after they hatched, they all swam harmoniously, and then they went back home in the evening. When they went back home, the neighbors saw the Ugly Duckling and were like, "That duck is so ugly. Why is it different from others? We don't want it here." So when the other siblings heard that, they started being mean to the Ugly Duckling because they had the adults do it. Okay, yesterday I used my adult money to get myself this. This is a sunflower bracelet and this is a unicorn bracelet. Yeah. And they make me so happy, and I think it's important to take care of your inner child. Even though my inner child is telling me to eat ice cream every day, I shall try very hard not to listen to her. Okay, so yay! Okay. This begs a lot of questions about how adult opinions shape the mind of children. When I was young, mostly in primary school, I was bullied. As an adult, this seems so long ago, and I've blanked out most of the experience. Yet I still remember the feeling of being talked about behind my back. I remember the feeling of being excluded from things because it made me feel like I was not good enough. And somehow I think that has ingrained some habits in me. And the more I felt like I did not belong, the more I sank into books, and books saved my life more than once. When I was in primary school, I think that was when Harry Potter came out, and I really threw myself into the books. I read all the Harry Potter series and loved each and every second of it. Nobody can tell me anything bad about Harry Potter. I know J.K. Rowling is not like a good, morally upright author, but Harry Potter was a book that kind of shaped my childhood. This experience of being bullied made me be very picky about the people I let into my space. I have a few friends. I have one best friend and 3 close friends. I do not know how they became friends with me because I am not the most open person to be around. They take time to invite me to places. They greet me in the morning. They ask me how I'm doing when I decide to self-isolate, which is at least once or twice a month. This means more to me than they'll ever know. And the older I grow, the more I take time to cherish those who cherish me. I feel like when I was young, the most important thing to me was to make money so nobody could ever hurt me anymore. But the older I go, I kind of feel like life is about surrounding yourself with people who cherish you. It doesn't have to be the whole world, but just 1 or 2 people is okay, right? I feel like having a very small group of friends kind of saves you from trying to figure out who is on your team and who isn't.
Papi?
Kwa hiyo kitu.
Hey.
Relax kidogo.
That's what he said.
I regress back to the story of the Ugly Duckling. The Ugly Duckling, feeling like it did not fit in anymore, it ran away from home and lived through tough situations. Finally, it flew into our farm with a woman, a cat, and a hen. Here, even though the hen and the cat were mean to it was safe. It missed the freedom of swimming in the water, but then the hen told it, "You have a safe home. What more do you need?" I think I relate to this passage the most. When I was working back in Kenya, I had a one-bedroom apartment that I lived in alone, and I could afford to pay rent and feed myself on a daily basis. I could send money to my family, and I did not have any real big needs for purchases. I know this is more than some people hope for, but I always felt like something was missing in my life. I always felt deep inside that this was not the life I was meant to live. This was not what I wanted to be. Life had to be more than this. And just like the ugly duckling who flew away in the middle of the night, when everybody was asleep, I quit my job without telling anyone. This was the single most stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. The year that followed, I quickly ran out of my savings, and all the grand plans I made for myself just kind of fell through one after another, and soon I felt like I was being crushed under bricks and I could not breathe. My friends were moving up in their job, people were getting married, people were having kids, and I was stuck just penny pinching, trying to survive on rice and beans in the house because I could not go back home and live with my parents again. I always felt like going back home was admitting that I've been defeated and that I'm not good enough. So I kinda just stayed where I was struggling every day. Just like the ugly duckling surviving through winter, living outside, it was hell. I do not recommend it to anybody. Do not quit your job without a strategic plan. Somehow I clawed my way and I made it to Germany where I live now. I moved from a place where my skin color looks like everybody's skin color, and then I moved to a place where I'm among the minority. Life is not all roses here like I imagined to be, but somehow I always feel like deep down I'm in the right place to start. I know that this is not the place where my life will end, but I'm in the right place to kickstart my new life. The location where I'm in right now, it gave me the chance to start over. It gave me a chance to make new friends, build a new home. It gave me a chance to wipe the slate clean and let go of all the things that happened to me in the past. Just like the ugly duckling, I look at the swans and think of how beautiful they are. To me, a swan is like a person who has a calm mind, a few treasured friends, a healthy body, and important, financial freedom. I crave financial freedom like I crave life. The freedom to swim in the lake at any time without anyone telling me not to. The freedom to be free to choose what time I wake up and what to do with my day. I crave the freedom to sit on my laptop every day and write like my little silly books, and people enjoy them and pay me to write more. I wish I could be one of the swans. The ugly duckling finally made it to being a swan and was praised to be among the most beautiful swans in the park. Will I one day be a swan, or am I destined to always be the ugly duckling? Always different from everybody. I do wonder. But the older I grow, the more I understand that sometimes you may not turn into the swan. And being the ugly duckling is not the worst thing that can happen in life. And that sometimes life is just the way it is. And there's no right or wrong way to live life. And there's no right or wrong explanation. Life is just the way life is.